The pastor kept the dog, but he lost his children. My friend, you need to assume responsibility. Your kids are watching you. So go to the next principle. Assume responsibility for your example. No excuse principle. What is the no excuse principle? Very simple. Do not allow your children, do not allow your wife any reason because of your behavior why they should not follow God. For example, if you are not behaving properly, your wife will say, well, you don't read your Bible. I don't have to read my Bible. You are not a good example. Why should I read my Bible? You're watching TV all the time? I'll watch TV also. Look at me, gentlemen. You are the leader. You are to have the best example. You love your wife. You love your family. Have the best example. No excuse principle. Do not allow your children, do not allow your wife to use you as an excuse to not follow God. Now, if they don't follow God, that's their problem. But don't allow them to use you as an excuse. Are we communicating? Thomas Edison was telling his son, son, we need to worship God on Sunday. It's a Sabbath day. Worship Him. The son said, Dad, you are doing experiment on a Sunday. And then Thomas Edison said, from that day forward, he stopped working, experimenting on a Sunday. You know why? Do not allow your children, do not allow your wife to use you as an example for not to follow God. You don't want your children to smoke? Quit smoking. You don't want your children to get involved with drugs, alcohol? Be an example. No. You want your children to be involved in serving God? You serve God. You want your children to love people? Love people. Show them. Get them involved so that they will copy you. Be an example. That's a leader. You lead by example. Number 3, A. A means what? Affirm. No insecurity principle. You see, many fathers, I'm talking to you now, many fathers don't realize our children, our wives, are waiting for our approval. I know of even old men today, even they're old already, they're still looking for the approval of their father. Because a father is so important to children. I was in a wedding recently, and I felt like crying when I heard a man said, for the last 30 years, my father never said something positive about me. Gentlemen, your children, your wife, are looking for affirmation. When your son comes home with a grade of, let's say, A, and then 1C or 1B, what's your tendency? Do you focus on the A's or do you say, anak aliga? Why is there a C? I suggest, when your son comes home with A's and B, what do you focus on? A. Son, I'm proud of you. Look at the A's. But most fathers are very stingy with words. Don't be stingy. Now, singles, if you are living with a family that doesn't affirm you, remember, 2 families, physical, spiritual. Be part of a small group. I'm not saying CCF small group are perfect, but God designed the church. God designed fellowship so that we, all the pastors, all the small group leaders, we cannot take the place completely, but I want you guys to be part of a family, a spiritual family. And don't expect your father, your mother to change overnight. That may never happen. But you find your security in the Lord. Okay with you guys? But as fathers, I tell you, please be generous with compliments. Affirm your wife. I don't know about you, but if you are seated beside your wife now, if you are seated beside her, can you say something nice to her? Just say, honey, I really appreciate you. Say something nice. Baby, I appreciate you. Last, disciple. As a leader, as a lover, you have to disciple your children. Look at me. What is the use of serving God, discipling others, and you and I neglect our own home? What is the non-negligence principle? The non-negligence principle is so simple. Let me explain to you. when you stand before